Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you've ever worried about, everything you've ever chased, doesn't actually matter as much as you thought. What if life isn't about stressing over the past or obsessing over the future, but about something much simpler, something we often overlook? We spend so much time searching for happiness, for meaning, for some grand purpose, yet the very things we're looking for might already be right in front of us. In this video, we're going to slow things down. We're going to explore life from a different lens. One that doesn't tell you to hustle harder or chase some distant goal, but instead helps you see the beauty in where you are right now. Whether it's the way we handle mistakes, the way we love, or the way we define success, everything we've been taught might just need a second look. So, take a deep breath, let go of the rush for a moment, and let's dive into a perspective that might just change the way you see everything. Have you ever felt like the world is moving too fast? Like there's never enough time to catch your breath? It's easy to assume that life is just hectic, that we're all caught in this endless race with no finish line. But what if the real problem isn't the speed of the world, but the speed of our own minds? Imagine standing on a train that's moving at full speed. Everything outside the window looks like a blur. But if the train slows down, suddenly you start noticing details, the trees, the sky, the people walking by. Life is like that. The faster we go, the less we see. But when we slow down, we start noticing things that were always there but hidden from our restless minds. The warmth of the morning sun, the way the wind feels against our skin, the sound of laughter in the distance. All the little moments that make life beautiful. Slowing down doesn't mean doing nothing. It means being present, fully experiencing each moment instead of rushing to the next. And the best part? When you do this, you realize that life was never as overwhelming as it seemed. It was just waiting for you to pay attention. We spend so much of our lives either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself replaying an old conversation, thinking about what you should have said, or stressing over something that hasn't even happened yet? The mind loves to wander, but mindfulness is about bringing it back home, to the present moment. It's the ability to simply sit with yourself and notice your thoughts without trying to change them. If you're feeling sad, instead of pushing the feeling away or overanalyzing why you feel this way, just sit with it. Observe it like you would watch a cloud drifting across the sky. You'll notice something incredible. The feeling changes on its own. No force, no resistance. That's the power of mindfulness. It's not about controlling your emotions, but about giving them space to come and go naturally. The more you practice this, the more peaceful you feel, because you're no longer trapped in the endless cycle of reacting to every thought and emotion. You become an observer of your own mind, and with that awareness comes a deep, unshakable calm. Every person you meet has something to teach you. Sometimes the lessons are wrapped in kindness and love. Other times, they come disguised as difficult conversations, misunderstandings, or even conflict. But if you approach relationships with an open heart, every interaction becomes an opportunity to grow. Think about the last time someone annoyed you. Maybe they were rude, dismissive, or just completely misunderstood you. It's easy to react with anger or frustration. But what if, instead, you asked yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe it's patience, maybe it's how to stand up for yourself, or maybe it's recognizing that other people's actions are often reflections of their own struggles. The truth is, no one has life completely figured out. We're all learning as we go, and when you start seeing people that way, as fellow travelers on their own journeys, you start approaching relationships with more compassion. Listening becomes easier, understanding deepens, forgiveness feels lighter, and instead of seeing people as obstacles or sources of frustration, you start seeing them as mirrors, reflecting parts of yourself that you might not have noticed otherwise. Love is one of those things that we overcomplicate. We attach so many conditions to it, expectations, fears, insecurities, that we forget what love truly is. But real love at its core is simple. It's warm, freeing, and without hidden agendas. Think of how a child loves, without hesitation, without calculating what they'll get in return. That's the purest form of love, and it's something we all still have inside us, beneath the layers of conditioning. But love isn't just about relationships with others. It starts with yourself. If you can't accept yourself as you are, how can you truly accept another person? If you're constantly judging yourself, you'll end up projecting that judgment onto others. That's why self-love isn't selfish. It's the foundation for every other kind of love. When you start embracing yourself, flaws and all, you naturally become more open in your relationships. Love stops being about possession or control and instead becomes about connection, about sharing who you are without fear. It becomes less about finding the perfect person and more about being present with the people who bring warmth into your life. We've been taught to see mistakes as failures, as signs that we're not good enough. But what if mistakes were just lessons in disguise? Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall down 100 times, but never once do they think, maybe walking isn't for me. They just get up and try again, instinctively knowing that falling is part of the process. But as we grow older, we forget this. We start seeing failure as something to be ashamed of, rather than as a stepping stone to growth. The truth is, every challenge, every setback, every mistake carries a lesson. If you're willing to look for it, maybe that job rejection is pushing you towards something better. Maybe that heartbreak is teaching you about self-worth. Maybe that difficult phase in your life is shaping you into someone wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. Life has a way of guiding us, even when it doesn't feel like it. The key is to trust the process and remind yourself that no experience is wasted. Every moment, even the painful ones, are sculpting you into the person you're meant to become. People often stress about finding their true calling, as if it's a single, predetermined path waiting to be discovered. But what if your calling isn't something you find, but something you create? Life isn't a straight road. It's a vast landscape with endless possibilities. Instead of waiting for a grand revelation, start small. Try things. Explore. Pay attention to what excites you, what makes time fly, what challenges you in a way that feels meaningful. Your passion isn't necessarily the thing you're already good at. It's the thing you're willing to struggle for, to improve at, to wake up excited about. And the best part? It's never too late to start. Some people find their calling early in life. Others stumble upon it later. There's no right timeline, no rulebook. The important thing is to stay curious, to keep moving, and to allow yourself the freedom to change course when needed. Spirituality isn't about following a set of rules or belonging to a specific belief system. It's about connection with yourself, with others, and with something greater than you. Some people find it in religion, others in nature, art, or even in the simple act of being present. The essence of spirituality is about seeking truth, questioning what you've been told, and discovering what resonates with your soul. It's about seeing life beyond the surface, recognizing that there's depth and meaning in everything around you. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to search far. Spirituality isn't found only in temples or scriptures. It's in the way you treat others, in the moments of stillness when you feel at peace, in the wonder you feel when looking at a starlit sky. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being open to the mystery, embracing the unknown, and realizing that, in the grand scheme of things, we're all just tiny specks of the universe trying to find our way home. At the heart of everything, life isn't about rushing to a finish line. It's about learning to slow down, to be present, and to truly experience the moments that make up our existence. When we let go of the constant need to be somewhere else, either lost in past regrets or worrying about the future, we begin to see the beauty in what's right in front of us. The simple act of paying attention, of being mindful, allows us to live more fully and with a sense of peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's not about trying to control life, but about flowing with it, embracing each experience as it comes. One of the most powerful realizations in life is that every person we meet, every situation we encounter, holds a lesson for us. Whether through love, conflict, kindness, or misunderstanding, the world reflects back to us the things we need to see. Relationships aren't just about companionship. They're a mirror that helps us grow. When we approach people with an open heart, with the curiosity to learn rather than the urge to react, we start to see others and ourselves more clearly. Love, too, is something we often misunderstand. It's not about possession or validation. It's about connection, about seeing and accepting both ourselves and others as they truly are. And self-love? That's the foundation for all of it. When we accept ourselves, flaws and all, we create space for genuine, unconditional love in every part of our lives. Mistakes and failures aren't roadblocks. They're stepping stones. Too often, we fear making the wrong choice, failing at something new, or taking risks that don't pay off immediately. But the reality is, every failure carries a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. Life isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them. Just like a child learning to walk, we have to embrace the process of stumbling, knowing that every fall is part of moving forward. There is no such thing as wasted experience. Everything we go through, even the painful moments, is shaping us into a wiser, stronger version of ourselves. Finding purpose isn't about discovering one single perfect path. It's about creating it. Many people spend their lives searching for that one passion, that one calling, as if it's hidden somewhere, waiting to be found. But passion isn't something you find. It's something you cultivate through curiosity, effort, and persistence. The things that excite you, challenge you, and make you lose track of time. Those are the breadcrumbs leading you to your purpose. And the best part? There's no timeline, no deadline. You're allowed to change paths, to evolve, to try new things until you find what feels right. The only real mistake is staying stuck, afraid to take the first step. Beyond all of this, there's a deeper layer to life. One that goes beyond daily struggles, beyond the ups and downs of personal experiences. Spirituality isn't about rigid beliefs or rituals. It's about connection. It's about feeling part of something bigger than yourself, whether that's through nature, art, kindness, or stillness. It's about seeking meaning, questioning everything, and embracing the vast mystery of existence with wonder rather than fear. And at its core, it's about realizing that you don't need to have all the answers to feel at peace. The beauty of life is in the unknown, in the unfolding, in the constant discovery of who we are and why we're here. So, if there's one takeaway from all of this, it's that life is not something to be figured out all at once. It's something to be lived one moment at a time. Slow down and notice what's around you. Be mindful of your thoughts without letting them control you. See people as teachers rather than obstacles. Love freely without expectations. Embrace mistakes as part of growth. Follow what excites you rather than waiting for some grand revelation of purpose. And most importantly, stay open to the mystery of it all, because in that openness, in that willingness to explore without fear, is where true peace and fulfillment are found.